Hello and welcome back to our equipment system series, and we're on episode 4 now, and we're going to go through and add the inventory grid properly to our wardrobe UI. Now I've gone ahead and removed the temporary one we put in last time, which was over here on the right hand side. I've removed that and removed the code from here, so that's nothing there for that, which is what we want, because we're going to make our own custom solution to this. And for that we're going to create a inventory widget. We create a new widget blueprint. All this wardrobe inventory, and we're going to open this up. So this, we don't want a canvas panel, and instead we just want to put in a border first of all. Give us a nice background to it, which could be an image, or in this case just color. Change mine to black, and I'm going to put in a wrap box. So a wrap box takes its contents and filters it into a row until it hits the end, and then it will go down to a new row, and so on and so forth. So it's a way of doing a grid essentially. So to demonstrate that, if I add in a inventory slot here, and let's just change that to a smaller screen. Change that to like 500 here, height of 300. If I add these slots to it, you can see it goes down to new rows without any doing extra work for us, which is really nice. So with this still here, I'm not going to get rid of them just yet. I'm going to customize the appearance of our block here. Now I want it to fill the available space up and make sure the space is set accordingly. So with the wrap box selected, I'm going to go to the right hand side and just tweak the inner slot padding first of all. And change that to let's 10 by 10 first of all. Maybe 20 by 20. Now I know the size of each slot is 128 by 128. I know the padding between the slots is 20. There's going to be 3 gaps. I want to do 4 times 128, which is 512, and then 3 times 20 and add them together. So overall the width of this should be 572. And we should see that increase the number of slots we have on our widget here. I'll change the padding down 0. We get a nice flush 572 edge. But as I say, I want some padding around this, so I'm going to go to wrap box, and we're going to do a padding of 10, adding us 20 to the overall shape to this. So if I change this to 592, we should get a much more flush look to our wrap box on the width there. On the height, we've got 128, add 128, which is 256, plus the 20 in the middle, which is 276. Add another 20, or 10 for each side, gives us 296. The height of 296 gets us exactly what we want for the size of our box here. So to make this fix into place, we're going to right click on our wrap box, wrap with a size box, and then go to width and height override on here. Width being 592 and height being 296. Hit compile on this and then change from custom to desired. When you do change the height and width override, you will see the padding will change. It's because we've now got extra padding based on the size box. So in the size box, change the padding down to 0, and then go to the wrap box and change that padding up to 10 again. Gets us back to what we want to look at for here. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We can now get rid of all the inventory slot contents. Don't need that anymore. Hit compile and save that. We're then going to go over to the graph here. And on the graph, on a new custom event here, we're going to make a custom event for display inventory. And for this, we're going to do a for loop and get the items from that data table and display them in a category for our slots here. Now what we want to do here is eventually have the inventory of the player character be filtered out, but we're going to do that in another video. We'll do the one after this. In this one, what we can do is just filter out just the data table as it is. It's quite small anyway, so it's not a problem. So we can create a new function for this, and we'll call this one filter inventory. And with this, we want to get data table row names, sorry, and choose our equipment data table. And with the row names, we're going to do a for each loop. And with for each loop, we're going to go find each row, look at a category assigned to it, and see if it matches the category we want it to use. So first of all, we have to make a variable in here for that category. Hit new variable, and we'll call this one equipment category. And that'll be that structure we made before. So equipment category file. So now take out the array element and do a data table, get data table row, and choose the equipment data table from the drop down. And from the out row, we can right click and split this, and we should see our out row category. We want to compare this with our equipment category. So drag down from there, do equals to enum, and drag in our equipment category variable. And we put that into a branch. If it's true, we want to store this in a separate array, ready for us to filter through our for each loop later on. So we're going to create a new variable, and this will be the grid array. And this will be a variable type of name, but as an array. So click on the little pill icon and change it to an array. I'm going to drag this out, choose get, and then from here add unique. Plug that into true, and the item we want to add here is going to come from our array element here. So that will filter through and find each key that matches our item categories that we want to look for. So hit compile and save that. Now at the moment we're just doing data table rows. We will eventually replace this with the map from the inventory component that we're going to make in the next episode. But for now, leave it like this. Okay, so that's going to do that. And we're going to compile and go back to our event graph. And on display inventory, we're going to drag out our grid array and drag out our filter inventory. Connect that up, and then with grid array, we're going to do a for each loop. And as it goes through each of the row names it's found, we're going to create a widget, which can be the inventory slot. Choose inventory slot, and the row name will come from this array element, so drag this down there. And last but not least, we need to add this to our item grid, or our wrap box rather. So go to our designer, click on the wrap box, its variable, and we'll call this one inventory box. And on the graph, we can now see it here in the variable list, and drag out get, then add child wrap box. Connecting our return value to the content. And that's all we have to do here. Compile and then save. Now let's go back to our wardrobe UI. In the wardrobe UI, we're going to add our custom wardrobe inventory to our canvas panel. And there it is. And we're going to tick size to content. We want to get this into the position that we want it to be in. I want mine to be about here. Okay, I want it to be anchored to the top part of the screen here, or actually it might be better off to it in here, top part, top right here. I'm going to go to anchors, top right. Position Y we want as a 100, which is what I've got already. And position X we want to do minus 50, and we'll change the alignment here to 1. So it aligns it to the right hand side of the box instead of the left hand side. And we're done here. We hit compile and go to the graph. On the graph, we're going to do a construct event. And on the construct event, we're going to call our wardrobe inventory's display function. So get wardrobe inventory, display inventory. Compile and now save. So let's test to see what that looks like in our game. The torso is a default category, so we should see the torso ones appear in our slots. So there you go. You've got 3 torso items, therefore 3 torso slots. Torso 00, torso 01, and torso 02. Okay, looking pretty good so far. What we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to add our inventory component and link that up to it, and then make the buttons available to click on our screen so we can toggle between different inventories. So join us in the next episode right now over on patreon.com/RyanLaley. We can watch all my episodes before anyone else from just $1 a month. Big thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members for their continued support. It really is amazing. Thank you so much. If you're watching this and you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.